beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Let's take care of our housekeeping first, because I'm going to rant and rave today. Got a lot of crap to rant and rave about. I'm pissed off. I know you people are pissed off. I'd like not to get pissed off every morning. And I think you good people would not like to get up every morning and end up getting pissed off. But as long as we've got these ass-white, no good for nothing, right? Let's have a roll call of rotten, no good son of a bitches. Bob Sprague, are you here? Yeah, I'm here, you ignorant son of a bitch. Mark Kern, Barris, every one of these bastards. Patty Roly-Poly Patty Sprague. Mrs. Kern, the Sasquatch, she'll be calling me probably. She's back in the mix. See, I was going to leave her alone, but now all of a sudden, she's out pimping for the NAACP. Yeah, little white gal, you give a damn less about the NAACP. All you care about is your husband getting reelected. You guys got more money than the law allows. And I would say, Kern, why have you taken the salary? St. Clair County could use the money. You've screwed us all with the Mid-America Airport. You've screwed us all because of your lack of leadership. We do not have a $2-3 billion potential development for the spy agency, the NGA. That's not going to go away, Kern. That's not going to go away. People are going to remember that on November the 8th. These bastard no-good son of a bitch and good-for-nothing, low-life, bottom-feeding son of a bitches, and they piss me off. They piss me off more than the hemorrhoids I have. And they all a pain in the ass, people. We ought to call them all hemorrhoids. Let's quit calling politicians. Let's call them hemorrhoids, because they're a pain in all of our asses. And to treat it cost us money. People, we can beat these rotten bastards. We're running with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. You'll hear it day in and day out because election's about 40 days off. I give a damn less about politicians and politics. And they say, Bob, well, you're going to be one of them. No, I will never. I'll put a gun to my head, not politically, a gun to my head and pull the trigger. Well, I have to put it someplace else. My head's too hard. But I don't want to be a politician. I really don't care to be, and I'm running, a public servant. Because you can't be a public servant, people. Because these politicians, every 2 years, they're sniffing around. Do you notice both the ignorant bastards on TV last night, Kane and Pence? Kane now, he's a Democrat, but I don't care. See, I don't distinguish between one hemorrhoid and another hemorrhoid. When you got two hemorrhoids, you don't say, hey, hemorrhoid A is better than hemorrhoid B. No, they're both pain in the asses. But here's Pence and Kane. Both come up. I was a mayor. I was a city council member. I was a state senator. And I don't know if all this is correct, but I'm just the analogy. And a litany of every job they've held. And guess what? Everyone's been a political job. Everyone's been eating at the trough, the taxpayer's trough. I've been this, I've been that, senator, governor. Now I want to be vice. Vice President, I think to myself, you low-life, rotten bastards, both the Democrat and the Republican. They've been in public service, they say. It's not public service. It's political theft. It's political corruption. It's like Al Capone going to the FBI hearings, the Senate hearings, the crime hearings, and saying, hey, you know what, I started out as a loan shark, then I became a pimp, then I became a killer, then I became a bootlegger. Like these politicians are proud that they've done nothing in their lives constructive, but sucked off us taxpayers. Kind of, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. These guys just keep sucking the money out of our pockets. I'm glad they're not gay. Hell, they'd be the most popular bastards in town, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. And that guy yesterday tells me, Romanik, what is some bitch going to get you? Come get me, you no-good bastards. Don't give a damn about you politicians. You don't scare me. You don't scare most people. You make most people sick. They're not afraid of you. They're afraid of what you can do once we give you the gun. People, do you understand? We give these ass-white bastards, both Democrats and Republicans, we give these politicians, these hemorrhoids, these pains in our asses, we give them the gun. And after we give them the gun, then they try to destroy us. They try to kill us politically, financially, with that gun that we gave them. We give them these offices. They don't earn any offices. If I'm elected state representative, I didn't earn a damn thing. You good people thought enough of me to give me the opportunity to go to Springfield. I didn't earn that position. It was given to me. And I'll tell you what, if it is given to me, I will fight and I will pay you people back. Because I will be. You'll never hear another candidate say he's going to be the craziest son of a bitch in Springfield, but I will be the craziest son of a bitch in Springfield. So if you don't want crazy up there, if you don't want somebody that's going to disrupt the apple cart, both Democrats and Republicans, if you don't want someone that'll never vote for taxes, to raise any tax whatsoever, if you don't want someone who's going to try to cut spending, if you don't want someone who's not going to take any salary from you good people, then don't vote for me. You won't hear a politician say don't vote for me, but see, I'm not a politician. I'm just one crazy son of a bitch who is tired of this system the way it's been. And you people, you understand me. It's every 2 years, every 4 years, these no good, no count, rotten bastards tell you it's going to get better. After 40, 50 years, we got to believe that these son of a bitches are lying to us. Wouldn't you think? Going to be lower taxes, better schools. If you go through every election cycle for the last 40 years, get the sound bites on every candidate. Lower taxes, less crime, better schools, more jobs. Them some bitches lie constantly. There's not better schools. There's definitely not more jobs. And talk about not raising the taxes. Are you crazy? These son of a bitches and the Democrats, and again, there's enough shame in this political game to go around, but this time I'm talking about the asswipe Democrats. Madigan, that no-good ignorant bastard, wants to raise taxes again. You know, we had that 67% tax increase, a temporary tax increase. Now Madigan, he wants to raise it permanently. And, you know, we talk about taxes. I got to tell you, I go to Home Depot last night. I buy a ceiling fan, $150. The taxes at 10.5%. The taxes was over $15, people. $15 to buy something. Now, what the hell is that crap? I've earned that $150. I paid my taxes on that $150 before I put that money in my pocket. And now I got to go buy something that I've already earned money, like you good people, hardworking people. You've earned that money. You've paid your state, federal, local taxes. And then you go to utilize that money, and you got to pay another $15 on the $150. That's just on one item, people. The taxes when I got done was about $107. I'm trying to do some remodeling, so there was a lot of equipment and a lot of supplies bought. But do you understand what I'm saying? And this is because of the spend, hire people, hire their friends, spend more money. That's why our taxes keep going up and up and up. And this TIF money out there, on a side note, this TIF money out there in Belleville, the cities, the politicians give these big corporations big money to come in. And then you know who repays the money that the politicians give them? The TIF money that is our tax dollars. It's not TIF money. It's our hardworking earned tax dollars. They give them 10, 12 million, whatever they give them, an arbitrary figure, of course. So the city lets them tack on another percent or two on their sales tax. So we give these bastards the money to build in our towns. And then we have to pay ourselves back because Home Depot, all these places, not just in Belleville, all over. Again, there's enough shame in the game to go around. Then we got to pay ourselves back. They tack on another percent or two. Other than saying, hey, we're going to give you a discount because you good people are the one that let us be here. You give us money. You loaned us money to be here. We're going to give you a little discount. But no, it's all grab. It's all a money grab. And election time, you know what happens? These big corporations, they'll funnel money to all these local, state, and federal politicians. It happens that way every 2 years, every 4 years, people. Now they tell me in Cahokia, 13% tax. So a $150 purchase would cost you an additional $20 in taxes. Isn't that unbelievable? But now here's another thing. If you use that material to better your house, improve your house, you pay the taxes. After you've already paid the money for your taxes, then you go to the store and you buy material to upgrade your house, and you pay taxes on that money. That's a second time, third time, fourth time you pay taxes. And then when you get ready to sell that house, guess what? When you make a profit, you're going to pay another tax. Unbelievable, people. But you know why? Because it's tax and spend, tax and spend. That's why I say I will never. I don't give a damn what it is, short of somebody starving to death. If I'm fortunate enough to go to Springfield, they'll have to shoot me. I tell you, I will never vote. I don't give a damn what they offer me. I don't want anything from those son of a bitches, either side. I was offered some support last week, and I think those people got pissed because I said, guys, I don't need your money. I don't need your help. If the people of the 114th Legislative District want to put me in office, they will. I can't buy their support. They'll be my bosses. Every one of these politicians that take money, you know they're obligated to the person that gives them money. I'm not going to take a penny from these son of a bitches before I get elected, and I'm not going to take a penny from you good people after I get elected. I don't need the money. But taxes, people, it's never going to get better. We pay between 50, all depends on how big a consumer you are. We pay between 50 and 70% of all of our money on taxes. And I say taxes, which are fees. You go to the courthouse. They've raised the fees by about 200% in the last 5 years, the circuit clerk, the county clerk. They can do what the hell they want to do. They keep raising. Look at our taxes. Look at our telephone bill. I got a telephone bill for one of our stations, and it was $35 was the actual telephone service. When I looked at all the taxes, it ended up being people from $35 to $68. From $35 to $68, excise tax, a tax on the excise tax, a tax on the tax man on the excise tax. Look at your cable bills. Look at your telephone bills. You don't realize what these son of a bitches have done to us. We got to quit spending, people. We're $111 billion in pension debt in Illinois. Do you think we're ever going to catch up on that? And I'll talk about that momentarily. It says Madigan's Army, something in the Post, New York Post, I believe. Madigan's Army, power through patronage. And that's what happens, people. These politicians buy their way in. They keep their jobs because they give their supporters jobs. They don't give the most qualified candidates jobs. Now, there's a lot of good people work for the state, work for the cities, work for the county, but there's also some ass-white bastards like Herbie the Hemorrhoid Simmons, $135,000 a year, head of the 911. He couldn't add up 911. Frank Bergman, head of the Human Resources, $100,000 a year. And let me remind you, not advertised jobs. They just sucked these guys to these jobs. He was a failed mayor of Cahokia. They run him out of Cahokia, Frank Bergman. And now he's got a big job with the county because he can get some votes. Herb Simmons, the mayor of East Crown Gillette, can get you about 30 votes. But I tell you what, Herbie must like the taste of ass because he's all up everybody's ass to get a job. You remember Herb Simmons back in the day, Mrs. Michelon's little informational specialist, shall we say? Information specialist. And I think you people know what that means. Give a lot of information to Michelon, and the Democrats rewarded him, as stupid as they are, by giving him a big job. The people understand what we're going through in this country. These no-good bastards, they're going to destroy us. And we sit back. You good people sit back. I tell you, there's 40 days left. And if you don't like hearing about local election crap, if you don't like hearing about these no-good son of a bitches, don't listen to me. But I want to pound it in your heads, people. This may be the last opportunity. This could be the perfect storm. We've got to do something. We got to get off our lazy asses, including me. We can't just talk the talk. We got to walk the walk, people. November the 8th, 2016, may be the perfect storm all throughout this great country. I don't know about Hillary, don't know about Trump, but I'll tell you, all politics are local. No matter who's elected president, it's not going to help us out here in St. Clair County. We got to help ourselves out. We got to fight for ourselves. Then we're going to talk about Chicago and Madigan. They hate those son of a bitches up there, but they've got all the jobs. And who gets screwed? We do. We do, the people in Southern Illinois. But let me tell you one thing. If Bob Romanik's elected, Southern Illinois will not only get recognition and notoriety, we'll get something for Southern Illinois. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to moan and groan, and if I got to crap on the State House floor, St. Clair County will be recognized. St. Clair County will get something. We're not going to give it all to Chicago. Chicago gives a damn about Southern Illinois. Chicago gives a damn about the good people of St. Clair County. I give a damn. And they say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, I'm going to be a squeaky-ass wheel. And maybe I don't get no grease, but I'm going to make it difficult for any of those son of a bitches to get any kind of grease. Unbelievable, people. It's totally unbelievable. I want to, and this it always pisses me off, as you know. I want to say hi to my friend, a military hero, a local boy from Freeburg, Marine Mitch Spicer. He's our local hero from Freeburg. As always, Mitch, thank you and all of our brave military heroes serving and fighting all over the world to help keep us in America safe and free. And you see about this Kaepernick, this ignorant bastard football player, going to get down on one knee. Now we've got high school students, grade school, 10 and 11-year-olds. And you don't think the people in this world, you don't think the terrorists can see what's going on? You know what they say? The United States has no resolve. They're going to destroy themselves from within. That makes us more vulnerable when the people of this world look at us and say, they don't even respect their flag. They don't respect their country. We, the terrorists, we can go in there and infiltrate. And we can get a lot of recruits. Because apparently Americans don't love America. They don't love what America stands for freedom, for opportunity. You understand how bad that hurts? You understand these terrorists? That just motivates these son of a bitches. But on this, not respecting our country or not respecting our flag, it's like a death. It's like a death in your family. You know, you may fight. You may fight with your family members over petty things day in and day out. But if something terrible happens and then there's a death in your family, you'll miss that loved one. You'll miss that loved one and their company, the company of the deceased family member. You'll never forget them. You wish they were alive. But if it's a tragedy, if it took one tragedy, a death, to make you realize how much you love that family member, and we've all been through it. We fought with family members. But after a tragedy, after a death, you think how much that you love that family member. And being a true American patriot, we should love our country in just the same way. A lot of people dislike and disrespect our country by kneeling and refusing to stand for our national anthem. Take these idiots and let them know that they're not going to take advantage of this great land of ours. But our brave military heroes, what happens if they walk away from defending us? These asswipes don't defend our country, don't defend our troops. They disrespect our country. But just think, if our brave military heroes walked away from defending us and were taken over by a terrorist regime, then I tell you, then all the unpatriotic idiots will understand how much they've lost when they lose all their freedoms and maybe, just maybe, lose their lives. And like your deceased family member, you won't realize how much you should have loved and supported and respected our country until you lose that great freedom that this country provides, that this great United States of America provides and offers us. A loss of our freedom is like the loss of a family member. It hurts forever and affects our lives forever. And remember, as I always say, our country is our family. And you would never, ever disrespect a family member. So let's stand for our proud flag and our proud country. Let's respect our great country and all the opportunities that it gives us, because America is our family. So let's respect it accordingly. Hey, and on a side note, when we show disrespect, again, it gives our enemies the fighting spirit that's going to hurt us. And I had a friend of mine yesterday tell me, said, Bob, about dishonoring our flag. He said, I don't care if they burn the flag. And I after he told me what his philosophy was on that, I agreed with him. He had a great suggestion for those who disrespect our country and our flag. He said, hey, if you guys want to burn Old Glory, our flag, our symbol of greatness and freedom, he said he agrees. And I agree. And I'd make it is a law, because we live in America. We can burn our great flag. These nasty bastards do burn it. But if it wasn't a law, I'd make it a law. But I'd have a caveat in that law. I would support you burning our flag, as my buddy said. And I would support you burning our flag, the Old Glory, and what it stands for. But only if you wrap yourself, your lame-ass, lousy self, first before you light that great flag and put that flag on fire. Just remember, people, I ask, please, live and respect both our family and our country before it becomes too late to do so. As this is my show, I do what the hell I want. I heard this song a couple days ago, kind of a poignant song. It's about family, could be about country. I think it'll get you people thinking. So we're going to go out with a song by Willie Nelson. I've played it before in the past. It's a sad song. You got to listen to it. But it's very poignant and to the point. And let's go out with Just Breathe by Willie Nelson. I think if you listen to that song, you'll understand. It's to think about the meaning of love of your fellow man, of love for your great country. You know, think about all that America gives. We never thank America. We never thank our family. Let's thank America for a change, people. And let's show our love for this great country of ours. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be, and you should too, proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very, very proud to be the Patriot. As always, I meet a lot of people every day. They flag me down sometime. I either drive in my clown radio car or my clown state representative car. But I want to put a special shout out to Tanya Lewis, Keisha Donaby, a lady named Tootsie Roll, and fourth lady, I don't know. We didn't get her name. I met those nice ladies, beautiful ladies down in East St. Louis yesterday, and they saw my car, said they're for me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody that's going to give me, white trash, far from perfect, very flawed individual, the opportunity to serve you in Springfield. Now, you've had all the good guys serve you in Springfield, all the guys that go to church, all the guys that wear the suits, got family, and they go out and talk real nice. They don't cuss. But, boy, when they go to Springfield, they're going to steal from you. They're going to take from you. And I swear to you people, I will never steal. I will never take a penny from you good people. I'm going to try to put money back into your pocket. Now, I don't look like most of those politicians. I definitely don't sound like most of those politicians. I don't talk like any of those politicians because I'm not a politician. I'm just one pissed off American who wants to help, wants to try to do all I can do, as I know you good people do, to just take our country back. So anyway, you ladies, thank you very much. You made my day. Met another lady, Eva Rana. She was pumping gas, yelling at me. Little old gal, nice looking elderly lady. So I listen to you every day, Romanik. And I think she was kind of a church lady, but I believe the church people listen, maybe because they pray for me afterwards. And also want to say hi to Vince and Toby at In-N-Out Auto for your support, for listening, and everybody else. Oh, one last gentleman, Michael Hazard, listens every day. I met his granddaughters at Denny's, so Mike Hazard, you got two or three beautiful granddaughters, very nice ladies. And thank everybody for always taking the time. I know you could do better things, but we talked about these debates. Again, these debates should be spontaneous. Everybody preps, and they don't mind telling you, we're going to prep 5 or 6 days for a debate. You don't need a debate after you've prepped for it. You don't need to prepare for a debate. It should all be spontaneous. You know, they need to be real, not fake. Every one of these politicians, how fake. You know, I hate to tell you idiots, you son of a bitches are far from being perfect. You know, people know and understand that you're individuals. So don't try to okey-doke us and act like something you aren't. That's the problem, people. You got Kern and Sprague and these bastards. They think they're better than we are. They put themselves up in that white ivory tower, and they'll tell you anything you want to hear. Every election. How great would it be? You've heard me every election. They promise you this and that, and we get nothing. They just keep promising and promising. We're tired of the promising, people. We want some results. We want these political leaders, which we have very few, we want these political leaders to do something for us. Do you understand me? You ignorant, no good son of a bitches, do something for us. Now listen to me, not to us. But the only thing they promise us, and they don't really promise it subliminally, they should promise us, hey, at the end of the day, we're going to screw you. We're going to screw you. Because they're going to lie to you, tell you what they're going to do. And the only thing we're going to get is screwed. And I say screwed, not in a nice way, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. Let's take care of our housekeeping. Carl Officer just come in. And I will tell Carl Officer, Roger Cook, my opposition, Mark Kern, any political person, anybody is a candidate, feel free to come to my radio station, my radio show. And, somebody said, I had Kern and those guys fighting and say the radio stations were mine. They were my sons. But we all say, we, the St. Louis Cardinals, just because we're fans, because we're part of the family. But I will tell every candidate, come to my show today and any day. I believe in equal time. You can call up. You can come in. We're going to talk politics. Carl takes advantage of it. Well, not really taking advantage. He takes the opportunity, as Roger Cook does, because they're transparent people. They have nothing to hide. They'll take calls. They'll answer any question. They're not prepped when they come in because they don't know what's going to be asked of them. So I would say any of you political bastards, don't do it for yourself. Do it for your constituents. Do it for the people who may vote for you. I tell you about me every day. I'm like Casper the Ghost. I'm the most transparent son of a bitch around. I'm a no good son of a bitch. I've been in trouble. I've made mistakes. I'm not a perfect person, but I'm a fighter. I'll fight for you. And when I give you my word, it's good. The rest of these rotten bastards, these democratic culture corruption son of a bitches, they don't want to come in because you people would call and the phones would be burning off the hook because you'd want to know why they've done the things they've done. They don't want that exposure. Think about it, people. So let's don't give them the opportunity to have that exposure next year. Let's vote these rotten bastards out. And then they can sit there and they won't have to talk to anybody anymore. And we won't be paying them. On this date, October the 5th, 1892, the Dalton Gang, notorious for train robberies, was practically wiped out while attempting to rob a pair of banks in Coffeesville, Kansas. On this date, October the 20th, 1945, Meet the Press premiered on radio. On this date, October the 5th, 1949, for the first time, the United Nations flag was raised over its new New York headquarters. On this date, October the 5th, 1982, Johnson & Johnson recalled all Tylenol capsules after the 8th death caused by deliberate contamination. The incident resulted in regulations requiring tamper-proof resistant packaging for all over-the-counter medications. That's what happened on this date, October the 5th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word. Common spelling for the best of all three of our stations. You can listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, or Bob Romanik for State Representative. And as always, go to the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. It's a great Facebook page. It'll tell you all about what's going on in politics in St. Clair County. We're not going to take a break. We're going to go ahead with it. Carl Officer, I wish we had enough time today because I wanted to talk about the patronage throughout the state of Illinois, and we're not going to have time. And also, I see here, and let's hit on this. NAACP says girl 13 is no monster. This is a 13-year-old young black lady who shot two people in the King's Beauty Supply in St. Louis, and they were two black people that she shot. And the NAACP, and rightfully so, they're fighting for her, and they say she was abused, never was provided what she needed as a juvenile, And I say that, I understand. I think she should be held accountable, but that's just not the NAACP helping the black children. The white children involved too. I mean, there's enough blame in that game to go around. There's enough criminals that are young, both black and white. But I want to salute the NAACP over there, Carl, because at least they're trying to help someone out. But don't you think, and I know you help people out all the time. People are calling you. Don't you think it's about time that we as a people put people in office? They're going to be concerned about our children, concerned about the future of these children, and not just be concerned about the money grab?
Well, good morning, Bob. Yeah. A lady told me the other day, she says, you really do kind of calm him down when you go there. Yeah. You know, let me simply say this first and foremost. I'm like you. I'm like you in this regards. I have been very honored. Yesterday afternoon, I stopped at Moore's Restaurant up in Belleville. Lady stopped me from New Athens and was just telling me she's a nurse down there at one of the hospitals down there, and talking about the election. She's just grateful for being able to have a Freedom Coalition to support. I just left out of a restaurant up here in Belleville this morning. A lady, sweet lady, and her husband. And I got a phone call last night from another lady who used to live in East St. Louis. And one of the things I have to say before I answer your question directly is that I'm very thankful, very humble, because I appreciate, but I think we have to let folks know, St. Clair County, if you live in St. Clair County, you can vote for us, okay, for this Freedom Coalition. We hope to make it larger. We hope to make it bigger and better. But what I heard at the NAACP yesterday, Adolphus Pruitt, who's a friend of mine, who's the executive director over in St. Louis, Missouri, the shame that the NAACP has to get involved with this situation. It's not a question of whether or not the child is 13 or 14 or 15. I think there are some issues that deal with her upbringing, her environment, her lifestyle. You cannot dismiss the fact that she used a weapon with deadly intent on another person. And those persons were senior citizens, or whether they were my age, or well, I'm a senior, I'm 64, or whether they were 55, it didn't make any difference. She should be given a good opportunity for psychiatric, psychological evaluation. She should be given all the kind of help that she can get. Now, you can get that kind of help in juvenile custody. I don't think she should be tried necessarily as an adult, because I don't think at 13 she can think as an adult. We talked about that the other day with these kids kneeling at these football games in Texas and all these other places. I am the father of a teenage girl. Anybody can make a mistake, and you and I both know that. But I do think that there are some larger issues that you and I would love to discuss, and I'm sure you're going to do this when you go to Springfield. Why isn't that some other agencies like the NAACP locally dealing with issues? You got drinking water in Michigan, and you got it in Illinois, and you got it in Missouri, where these lead pipes in these schools. You've got other issues that are much more important. You got soldiers coming back with PTSD, and we got millions and millions of dollars being spent by communities and states and cities to pay for stadiums. You know, we can't get to the real issues that affect people and their lives because of this, as I'm going to paraphrase, use this political crap. We got people in St. Clair County who are in need of help, and we're spending millions and millions of dollars on an airport that makes no sense whatsoever.
Right. And
issues that help, that need help. You got St. Elizabeth's Hospital. I called for it a year or two ago. That's going to be closing in Belleville. And we're right next door in this radio station. We're right next door to the Belleville Clinic for Vets. You mean to tell me there's not an issue that we can't use that old hospital, St. Elizabeth's Hospital, for? I was in there just getting some tests done 2 weeks ago. Wouldn't it be a great place for the VA to spend some of its money to help the veterans in this metropolitan area in Southern Illinois? That's still a viable building, but they got to go to a storefront over here. They don't have nearly the facilities.
Right.
You know, those are the kind of issues Congressman Boss ought to be talking about. I'd like to see his commercials about the boots. And I got to say one other thing. I saw an ad this morning on Roger Cook by the county board chairman. If the worst thing you can say about Roger Cook is that he took a job with Magna Bank after he left the mayor's office, is that the only thing that you can discuss? One thing I can say that you and I have done, you and I have never said a negative word about either one of our opponents. We don't have to campaign like that.
No.
We've said but what we're going to do. We said what we believe is positive. I don't need to knock my opponent. Yeah, I've not heard you say a bad word one way or the other about your opponent. You said about what you're going to do. You're not going to pay for taxes. You're not going to raise any taxes. You're not going to take a salary. You're not going to take a pension. You're not going to take all these other things. You're going to fight and work for the people. You know, I don't understand these politicians who got to talk nasty and negative and dirty about their opponent, but they never can tell us what they're going to do.
Right.
For the people that they ask for. I think Adolphus Pruitt and the people in St. Louis with the NAACP are doing a commendable option to giving some help to this young lady. I don't want them to change the law necessarily. I think this child needs to be brought in and given some proper direction. I don't think that they need to just not let her go. I don't know enough about juvenile law, but I do think she has to be held accountable.
You know, Mayor, that's my whole point. It's not just a black child, it's a white child. It should never come to this with our children. Yeah. We ought to take our children. You know what? When you lose a child, just like when we lose this freedom in our country, then it'll be too late. But then everybody wish they'd have done different. Let's as a country, let's take care of our people, not black people, not white people, not Hispanic people, our people. Let's take care of our people, and then let's take care of everybody else. Let's take care of everybody in this world of ours. But we're losing sight.
This is an indictment, I think, really of the Missouri Department of Human Services. It could be a child in Festus. It could be a child in Ironton. You know, you can't tell me that some of these young people in small, poor, rural, white areas aren't having the same kind of issues as these kids, poor black kids in urban areas. If you don't have parents, if you don't have sufficient health care, if you don't have good education, if you don't have some guidance and some counsel, you can be in the best home in Ladue or the best home in Glen Carbon, but if your mom and dad don't give a damn about you, they're not caring about you, checking on you, following up on you, helping you with your homework, you're not going to pretty much wind up being a good person at the end of the day. Children are children. They're not adults. And the final thing I'll say on this, I cannot stand this social media. My daughter, I pick her up from school every day. I know she was really serious or facetious, but she's telling me about this clown thing. You know, my daughter says, you know, Dad, I don't know if I'm going to go to that restaurant in Belleville and leave me in the car while you going into the store because these clowns may get me. I said, you got to be kidding me. She said, well, I know this one thing. Them clowns ain't coming to East St. Louis. I said, yeah, Carly, you're right about that.
Mayor Carl Officer, you're a candidate for St. Clair County Coroner and co-founder of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, fighting for everyone. And I just want to ask you people, you know, our society is salvageable. Let's all work together. Let's all work together to make it positive, because if we don't, we're not going to have a world to live in. Mayor Carl Officer, thank you very much. We're running out of time. We got to go. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting with an insane host. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We'll see everyone tomorrow, friend and foe. We wish everyone, I sincerely wish everyone would stand up to the plate, would take care of our family, take care of our animals, take care of our country. We are family people. We can disagree, but at the end of the day, we have to do what's best for our family, our country. So let's continue to unite. And we have to expose these rotten bastards, not not the terrorists from without. Our politicians from within who continue to chip away and destroy our great way of life. So let's continue to expose these no-good son of a bitches. Let's unite together, men, women, black, white, Democrats, Republicans. We don't care. We're all Americans. Let's unite. Come election day, this election, and every elections from now on, let's vote the person, not the party. Let's vote the person that's going to do for you, your community, your children, for future generations. And the bastards that don't, got to go by the wayside. And by the wayside, I mean let's destroy them. Destroy them politically, of course. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away.